Welcome, folks, to the gun shop. I am Frumpy Buckle, and you're hunting with Uncle Buck. Another Tuesday night. I keep getting these right. I have to write them down here in front of my book because I get them all messed up which night it is. This is Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Hey, guys, tonight we got a hunt going on, so we're going to talk all about that. 8 o'clock, hunt with Buck. We're going over to Hirschfelden. We're going to hunt Wild Boar. What do you got up there, Buck? You got everything going all right? So far, so good. So, we're going to hunt Wild Boar. Now, Wild Boar is only on one place. That's Hirschfelden. That's where you're going to find them. So that's where we're going to hunt them. We got a couple of barrels out there that have been baiting up for a couple of hours, so we're hoping that we'll have a good showing, a big show up for us tonight. But in the gun shop, we're going to talk about that. Let me go over and unlock the door and make sure everybody can get in here. So I got it unlocked. All right. Oh, I said I don't have to unlock the door. Smoke's here already. Door's unlocked.
Oh,
Smoke,
yo.
how are you, Smoke? How are you?
I'm doing good. I have a really exciting cartridge for us.
Oh, excellent. Very good. And it kind of gave me a little teaser on that one. And this is one I don't know nothing about. So I'm kind of anxious. Like, I can't wait till we get to the preferred ammo part of this one. But before we get there, let's talk about oh, Buck. Look, your little hickey-majig went away, didn't it? There it is. Let's talk about the animals that are on Hirschfelden. Now, do you have that on automatic, Buck, or is it not? Okay, so I get to. Oh, good. I get to move it myself. Wonderful. Red deer, guys. We got red deer out there. Um, Nice red deer all over the place. Now, I haven't dropped a trophy yet on Hirschfelden. My trophies come from Valda Boys, but there's red deer here, and I'm going to get a trophy off of this map too for sure. Also, we got the fallow deer. Now, fallow, this is going to be your only map to get this guy, so you're going to have to hunt here. He also resides out here on this map. You got the what we all love in the hunter classic, the roe deer, or what draving. I'm where speaking. Where is draving at? Is he on Sea of Thieves again? Yep, I see. He's still on the boat. Out in the, he's losing all of his loot.
Well, last I heard, he was making his way to port, so just give him a minute.
He was making his way to port. All right.
Yep.
All right. So I know Draving hates the road deer, but they're out there. You can hunt these guys out there also. We got the red fox, that sly little bugger that. And by the way, I dropped last week. I blew one into the dirt and didn't get another red fox the rest of the night. This week I've probably shot 7 or 8 out of that tree stand. Still don't have a trophy though. My biggest one's 24, some 25.7, I think. Still don't have that 30 yet. But we're gonna keep trying out there on Valda Boys. But there's red fox here, folks. So you can hit red fox here. There's also pheasant here. This is one of my favorite places to hunt pheasant because there's a lot of open fields on Hirschfelden. I mean, this is my ancestral, let me get if I speak that right. My ancestral background. Farmlands of Germany. I got German and Hungarian background in me. So my ancestors are from there. I know when I hunted with my grandpapa and my great grandpapa over here. My great grandpapa was first generation here in the States. He loved to hunt pheasant because that reminded him of home. We did a lot of grouse and pheasant hunting when I was a kid. And so there's a lot of pheasant out here on this map. I love to hunt pheasant out here. I do it the old school way though. I take, shotgun with bird shot. I'm not one of these guys that sits half a mile away with a 17 picking them off. That's not pheasant hunting to me. But, we, where's Draving at? I was waiting for his argument. Hi, Jules. Hi, Jules. Welcome to the show, Jules. So, anyway, there's a lot of game. A lot of game. Canadian Goose is here, which I find it odd on this map. And the reason I find that odd, ladies and gentlemen, is because there's just a river that kind of cuts down through. And I live in Canadian geese territory, and very rarely do I see Canadian geese in a river. Um, they're lakes. They love the lakes, the ponds, the can protected waterways. I Pretty tough to find a Canadian goose swimming in a river. So this map kind of throws me for a little bit of a loop as to I know it's Germany and Canadian geese travel north and south. How the hell did they get over to Germany? I don't know. I've never been there. Maybe they do have Canadian geese over there. Somebody drop me a comment. If you're from Germany and you actually hunt Canadian geese in the farmlands of Germany, I'd like to know about that. I really would. Uh, I don't know. What do you think about that one there, Smoke? Um, I don't know of too many Canadian geese that make it across the pond to get to Germany. I don't know. Am I totally off wrong on this one? I,
I
you're not
I'd
talking.
have to say you're not. Yeah, I didn't. But at the same time, I don't know.
You didn't think about that, did you? Well, I'm sitting here saying, okay, we're going to this area, which is the German farmlands, and I've been there hunting now for about a week. My first, it is I'm new to the game, guys. As you all know, I'm just starting this game. So a lot of these maps, I've never really even hunted a lot before. I'm a real hunter, so I hit this place and it's supposed to be German farmlands, and I'm wondering how the Canadian geese got here. I don't know. That's what's got me bugged a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe they're over there. I don't hunt in Germany. I don't live there. That was one thing I put in the military. I wanted to go to Germany. I wanted to go back and see where I came from, my ancestors. And unfortunately, at the time that I enlisted, Germany wasn't one of the places they sent you. So we used to call it the dream sheet in the military. You sign up and they say, "Oh yeah, just tell us where you want to go. We'll put you there." Yeah, right. That was the dream sheet. You could write on that paper anywhere you wanted. You weren't going there. That's for damn sure.
Hey guys, I just got on, but yeah, I lived in Germany. There's during the migration season, you'll find Canadian geese there. They're not normally there, but during migration season, you'll find them.
There we go. See, I knew somebody would set me straight. How did you get off that boat quick enough to get here? That's what I want to know.
Because I had to hurry and sell my stuff and then head over.
Okay, so now Buck stands corrected. That Canadian geese do show up in the migration season. Okay, so I guess some of them they get off track and they make a right hand turn at New York and they end up in Germany.
It's actually northern Europe is kind of where they end. They're not really in the
Yeah.
center or southern part.
They must be pretty easy to hit because they must be the dumb Canadian geese that they ain't too smart about keeping track of where they're going.
Yeah, I don't know if I've never heard of anybody hunting them over there, but I mean, they're more wild boar kind of folks,
Yeah.
stag. And
Yeah. All right, which leads us right back on track. Draving is so good at that, put me back on track. Wild boar, that's what we're talking about tonight. Wild boar. And we're going to Hirschfelden, the only place you can hunt wild boar in the EHR. Now, Buck, let's see if we pull this off good. We have to get rid of the target game and pull up the target feed. There it is. And that worked. Oh, Buck, you're getting better at this. Okay, except for that one was the wrong one to have up. And so is that. And so is that. And so is that. There we go. This is what we want right there. All right, guys, we're going to Hirschfeld. All right, this is Germany. Farmlands in the fall. Okay, so fall outfits is kind of what you want to deal with here as far as the closing goes. It's depending on where you're at, there's four. And this is very, very weird map because you have a mixture, especially in the fields, because each field is separated by a nice hump of forestry. So it makes it nice for you to have concealment to walk down along the aisles of these fields, between the fields. and utilize that. Don't be goofy and walk down the middle of the damn fields. That's not smart hunting. However, they give you baled up bales of hay out there, road bales, which makes it nice. So you have cover out there if you do end up out in the field a little bit, because you're going to have to go after your pheasant after you shoot them in that nature. And you could get stuck out there and a fallow deer show up on you. You got to take cover quick. So the bales of hay that are out on this map in the fields, good cover, utilize those. Don't run away from them, because when you're out in the middle of a field, you don't have much to run to, and you don't want to take a whole lot of time and make a lot of noise. So you got to find cover quick. If you got one, especially if you're out pheasant hunting, and you even if you're pheasant hunting on this map, you got to be prepared, because a hog could get you at any time. So you better have a weapon on you. How about it, Jimmy? You better have a weapon on you to defend yourself from a hog, even if you're not hunting them, or you better have first aid kits.
Yeah, as soon as you think you're safe, then one gets you.
Yeah, as soon as you think you're safe, one gets you, and that's what happens here. So make sure you're prepared for that. What else did I want to? Oh, okay. Did we go through? So wear your camos and stuff like that. Get the field stuff there. What else we got going on, Buck, there? And your trapper uniform works okay over here. Me, I'm military. I keep saying uniform. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It's a uniform. All right, so that one works real good too.
The forest is good right on the edge of the fields too. They actually offer more camo on the edge of the fields.
Right.
Like if you're in the trees, and then the field will offer more, like in the stands around the fields.
Exactly. And a thing to remember here, like on a lot of the maps, you have natural structures that will allow you to get up rock formations and things like that. These are farmlands here, so don't expect to be able to perch yourself up on a pile of rocks. They're far and few between on this map to find things like that, because you're really dealing with flat land with some trees and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's fairly flat, and that's the way it is. So you need to hunt accordingly there. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the attractants. What can we use to hunt these guys? Well, there's only 3 things in the game. You've got a hog, and I got them backwards. Damn it, Buck. All right, you got a hog squeal call. Right, you can use the squeal call that we have in the game. You have hog scent. They have that in the game, that you can apply that and utilize that in instances. And remember, spray the scent where you want the hogs to show up, not where you're standing, where you want the hogs, because you don't want that frontal shot. You don't want them, you want them a ways 35, as Jim says, 35 to 40 meters away from you for any shot, no matter what you're doing. If you're ambush hunting, give yourself some time, give yourself some space to react. So you don't want the things coming right at you, because then you're forced with frontal shots on everything, and it's a much more difficult shot. You'd rather have a broadside shot so you can get to the heart behind the leg. When you got them coming at you, it makes it a little tougher. All right, so what else do we got? Feeders. And that's what we're going to utilize tonight. Mr. Draving has a well-equipped map. He's got 3 or 4 feeders out there. I think 3. What's the limit you're allowed on a map, Jim?
4 per map. That's what I've got.
4 per map. So we got 4 feeders active out there that have been active today. So we're hoping that we're going to come 8 o'clock. We're going to have some good pig community running around there tonight.
Don't offend the Europeans. Wild boar.
Wild boar. That's right. Wild boar. Yeah, they don't like them to be called pigs. Yeah. We call them pigs and hogs over here in the States. We like to put them big boys in the ground and heat them up. That's the way that works. But so that are your attractants. Now, what else did I have to do there, Buck? Oh, one last thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I threw this up. I don't know if this is big enough to see on YouTube or not. I hope it is. But this is something that you can find on any animal in the Hunter Classic on the wiki. And it gives you basically the breakdown of that animal. Gives you the spine, the bones, the skulls, the shoulder bones. And you need to study this stuff, know your prey, know where you don't want to hit. You don't want to hit directly into a bone. I don't care what you're going to shoot. Now, something to think about with these hogs. Now, hogs, they have what's called a fat shield, all right? Because hogs, they're fighting with each other all the time. They're tough. They're tough guys. And that fat shield covers a lot of the chest area, bottom vital areas of a pig, especially these wild boars. And I'm a bow hunter. I love to shoot my bow. However, I'm going to tell you that these hogs, if you don't make a perfect shot into the number 13 spot over there, right into the heart, right at the very top back of that leg, that hog is not going to drop. He's going to run on you. And even if you do hit him perfect with a bow, it's he's still going to run a few feet. I'll be pickled. You know what they say? Pickled what? If you take a bow and actually drop a hog in a spot, um, he may, a good shot, he may run 15, 20 yards and fall over. That's a damn good shot. Damn good. Because these guys are tough. If you're not really, really good with a bow, I would highly recommend using powder. You use a rifle. And you want a strong rifle. You want a rifle, and we'll get into that. Smoke's going to talk to us all about the powder that you want to have with these guys, because they're tough. They're tough to knock down. They actually are. And I think trophies. Let's run through them real quick. The trophies. Now, trophies are on these guys. The way they're determined is by weight and tusk. It's a combination of the two. And actually, the final trophy score will tell you, it'll have a W on it or a T on it as to which outweighed the other, whether your tusks outweighed it that got you that trophy or your weight outweighed it. And that's kind of how these hogs work. So if you're tracking these guys, you always want to track anything that's 210 kilos, 463 pounds. Anything you see, if you're up to that level in your hunter mate, that you can tell this stuff. If you can tell, 210 kilos, you want to be on him. Okay. Maximum in the game, they tell me now. Draving, I'm going to ask him on this one because I'm just a stats guy. I do my research. He's hunted here so long. He's going to verify this for me right now. Jimmy, they tell us max on a hog in this game is 240 kilos, 529 pounds.
Correct.
There we go. All right. So that's the kind of weight you're dealing with out there. 240 kilos, 530 pounds, basically.
And you want to make sure if you're going after trophy, you want to make sure it's at least 210 kilogram. The big ones are usually 210 to 240.
There you go. And that's what you're talking is now. Is that your tracking weight, Jim, or is that when you spot them and you pick up that, where it's giving you that weight?
Well, either way, they're both just an estimate of the real weight, but at the end of the day, a big one is going to be between those weights.
Okay.
I mean, your estimate or your track is, visual or track is just an estimate, but you want something that's as close to that 240 as possible.
Got you. And that's really, and that's true to life stuff coming from proving the stats. All right. One more other thing. Rooting patches, guys. Now, these hogs root. When they go around and they root up stuff. When you're out there tracking, if you're tracking hogs can be very difficult. Tracking hogs is very difficult in the real world also. Is because they're a very erratic animal. I mean, they're on PCP or they're on speed all the time. They sit way too still in the game. Real hogs don't sit still that long. I mean, they're always bouncing back and forth, moving from here to there. I mean, so when you're tracking hogs, you'll have, especially when you got a sounder, which is a group of hogs, even in real life, there'll be just tracks everywhere. And it'll be so hard to determine, especially when they're rooting. But when you come across that track where they're rooting, and I haven't come across it in the game yet. Now, it says that you can. James, have you ever come across the rooting track where you find where these boars are, tusking it up?
Yeah, you'll see in every once in a while you run across an area. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I could maybe I'm thinking of bedding area. It's been a while, but I believe there's areas where you can see that they've been hanging out. But I may be thinking of bedding areas. I'm not sure if the game actually shows rutted up areas or not.
Well, Wiki was talking about that, and I haven't come across it yet. Again, I've only, I haven't been playing the game long enough. Hopefully, I'll come across it soon. But yeah, and that would fit in real life nature because when you come across those areas, that's active hogs feeding, and that they're on alert. They're in their mood, so to speak, and that's when you need to be cautious in real life. So if you come across those areas in the game, and I'll probably you're probably your hunter mate will go up to 3 immediately if you come across one of those areas because depending on how old it is, it's normally you're pretty close by and you should be careful. So that's something to think about there. The kill zone, like I said, we talked about that slightly behind the front leg. You don't want to get up on that top shoulder. You want to get down below the shoulder. The heart sits a little bit at the bottom of all that fat over there. So, and what we got now, we can talk about what can we kill these guys with. Smoke, I have no idea what's the best weapon. What do you think? Give us. We got Smokey. He's here tonight with our ballistics. How are you, sir?
I'm here. I'm excited. I have a special intro for us tonight.
Good.
Tonight's special cartridge is 7 by 64 millimeter, either Brennick or Brennecki. I'm not sure the pronunciation.
Okay.
It's a pretty basic cartridge, to be honest. It's in design, it is a smaller version of a 30-06, but if we were to compare it to something, we're going to have to compare it to about a 280 Remington 7 millimeter.
Narrow. Is it a narrow bullet?
It is.
Oh.
It is. Although it does boast a weight from 140 easily out to 180 grains. So for our purposes, this will be more than sufficient.
Huh.
I was a little scared when I saw that number, but I looked at what it does downrange. This thing has a really high muzzle velocity, potentially. We're talking anywhere from just under 2,900 FPS down to just under 2,700 FPS from the muzzle. And downrange, it doesn't do that bad. It retains upwards to about 2,000 feet per second, even at the 300-yard mark. Photons of energy, it's also definitely not a slouch. Entering easily above 2,500 and ending still above 1,500 downrange. You're still going to have more than enough kinetic energy downrange.
Which weapon you talking about? 7.62? Is that what you were saying?
7 by 64 millimeter.
Oh, 7 by 64, gotcha.
It's a very interesting cartridge. Like I said, being it's really next to a 280 Remington or a 7 millimeter Remington. But it actually comes to us over from Europe. It's pretty popular over there, especially hand-loaded. In terms of a bunch of cartridges, I think we would do very well with bringing out tonight. Buck, you're going to be really excited for this one. Your 9.3 74R is on the table.
Oh, wonderful. You know I love that one.
Yep, that's a good one I'd recommend. Another one that I kind of got surprised by was the 7mm 08 cartridge that we covered, I believe, just the week prior. Both the high power and the high velocity are up for grabs in this case.
Now, I would think, well, okay, so what do? You throw the high velocity up if you've got a shot over 100 meters. If you're sitting in a tree stand under 100 meters, you got the HPs.
And if you're going to be up close and personal, you put more of a high power round. It's going to be a larger bullet hitting with more authority, but it won't have the ballistic range.
Yeah,
would be my understanding.
Well, that's what I understand is the HPs they're not as much aerodynamic as an HV. So they don't travel as far and as fast.
Now, some surprising contenders that are on the list, I'm looking at it right now, is you can go all the way down to a 270, they claim.
Well,
Now, personally,
that's what I wanted to ask you about, because when I went over there and looked at that, I'm like, okay, what's the range? I'm saying, really, a 270 for a hog? I mean, not a
I
hog.
ethically, I agree with it. Ethically, um, personally, I don't think I could take something out that small. I'm going to be risking it with that 7x64, being as that's just barely a 280.
Well,
I'm going to leave the 340 at home this time, I think,
yeah.
because this will give me a little better range.
Well, the other one that they say that you can hunt them with that I think don't do this is the 30-30. I mean,
Yeah,
unless
I'm
he's
thinking a
right in front of
33,
you.
maybe from a tree stand.
Well, it better be close range. That's all.
Um, uh, in
Trade
my
it.
opinion, another surprising one was 4570.
Yeah, that's kind of big. I thought.
Well, you got to remember it's not a pig; it's a wild boar. They get a lot bigger.
Yeah, they do, but still a 45-70. I
We
mean,
take wildebeest with them things.
yeah. And I thought that was kind of and that, now let's talk a little bit about the hand. Now, well, before we move to handguns, Jim, what as far as I know, you're not a big pig hunter. I know that, but as far as rifles, what do you favor in the powder range?
Well, for hunting stands like we are, I like the 30 six lever action because you can have six shots, and when those things take off after that first shot,
Uh-huh.
you need to hit as much as you can quick because they're running.
Right. That's that's a
So
good point.
you're gonna get six shots on a big, high powered weapon where you can knock them down, quickly.
Yeah, and that when you converse because you like I know I'm a 30.6 guy, you're a 30.6 guy, but I've been really running that 74R a lot, and that's two shots. That's a quick two shots, but that's it. Um,
Yeah, I mean the 30R over under is good for accuracy, but you only get two shots, like you say, until you reload, and by the time you reload, those pigs are hitting the wood line.
yeah, I got you. Okay, so let's move to handguns, and I thought this was odd. You can use the 308 handyman, but you can't use the 357.
Oh, that's easy.
Why? Tell us that. Tell us why.
All right. The 308 Nosler and a handgun is just running as in my opinion, be a lighter version of a 308. It's still going to be full power. It's just going to be running a lighter projectile.
Okay.
357 is a 357 Magnum in this case. All that is a really, really hopped up 9mm. I can hear people in the chat right now raging. I know, but a 380, a 9mm, and a 357 or 38 special all fire the same projectile, Buck. It's just the amount of powder behind them.
Well, yeah, which makes them different. While I'm screwed, I'll need a faster chair. What is she talking about?
Do you have a California shirt on?
Yeah, I do.
I gotta go home.
I think I do too.
I'm supporting the best burger joint on earth, man. Come on. It's In-N-Out Burger. Come on.
That's not true. You got to go to Nations.
No, I don't. We had this argument before. I love it, and no, Buck, be careful now. Don't. I love In-N-Out.
I know, I'm getting you all worked up.
Yeah, but
Buck's looking for an In-N-Out burger support.
well, I mean, you know me in California, but I love In-N-Out Burger. That's all I can say. I wish In-N-Out Burger was somewhere else other than California. I hear they're in Arizona, but I'm not sure. Oh, all right. Enough about In-N-Out Burger. Okay, so,
Handguns.
we did and I kind of understood everything 44 to 10 mil. That was fine. I just couldn't understand why the 308 was on that list. It just didn't. And I know, and I love that gun. I want to own that gun. When that gun first came out in real life, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have that gun before I die. And I still don't own that 308 Handyman. And it's a real
Well, it's
gun.
not just 308.
What?
That handgun is a modular system by technicality, meaning all you have to do is change the barrel.
Yeah,
and
it
you've
is.
effectively changed
Yeah.
what you're.
Right. It's one of them deals where you can buy it. And Ruger does it all the time with a lot of their weapons. You buy the.
Oh, yes. They're
Yeah,
notorious for it.
Yeah, and you could just interchange barrels on them. Just shoot a different caliber. But that was always, I always wanted that 308 Handyman. I've been looking at that for 20 years. That was something I always wanted to have in my arsenal hanging in my gun cabinet. And I never got it yet, but
I think there's one somewhere in one of the cabinets around here in the gun shop. You're just going to have to buy it.
yeah, buy it. Okay, so we all know about the shotguns, right? There's nothing but slugs for this guy.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Muzzle loaders. Seems that we're just stuck with 50 calibers across the board, no matter what, right?
Yep.
All right.
Pretty cut and dry there.
Pretty cut and dry on that. So, all right, we're gonna wind this up. We're actually 5 minutes over. What are you taking with you tonight, Smoke? What are you hunting with?
I'm torn. Part of me really wants to bring my 340 because that's what I've been using for a while. But I saw that 7x64 and I just had to have it. And I think this will be a good opportunity to really put it to the test.
Well, there you go. I was on the map earlier today. I shot 2 with my bow. I think I'm going to leave my bow and quiver in the tent. I put some really nice shots on some nice hogs, and I still had to walk. I don't like, buck. I don't like to walk. So I think it's going to be a toss-up for me between my 74R and my 300. I don't know. Mr. Draven, what are you taking tonight?
Of course, I'm bringing a bow. Don't go home without, leave the house without it.
I know that. I know that.
But I'll bring the 30-06 lever action and for the 6 shots you get, and then my accuracy shot, if I have a huge one out there, is my 30R over under. For me, that's one of the most accurate ones in the game.
Okay. Well, that's nice to know. So the 30R, which is, we're gonna have to Smoke. You're gonna have to highlight that 30R round one of these weeks, because that is a nice weapon. It is a nice round. I mean, we should let the followers know a little bit about that round.
Well, you know what? There's next week's round.
There you go. All right, we'll talk about that one next week. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the show tonight. We're going to be back in, less than a little bit over 20 minutes. About 20 minutes, we'll be back. We're going to start this up. We're going to Hirschfelden. We got some baited up pods out there, and we're hunting pig. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember, never, ever, ever give up the fight. We'll see you later. That's a fishing closing, Buck. One of these days I'm going to get this right. Hey, it's outdoors. I hit the wrong closing again. We'll see you.